Hey, welcome back to the channel, y'all. Today we're going to talk a little bit about some inflation, gas prices, and how that affects you as a person, and how some of these mandates are starting to possibly affect us getting things. I was kind of going through the news here today and got thinking about some stuff, and I heard that the current inflation rate right now is just under 7% at 6.8, which is the highest it's been since 1982. I don't know how many. I wasn't around in 1982, but my dad said that was just the the tail end of the Carter years. So if this is the beginning of where we're at now, it could be a long road. Uh, so it's just making everything cost more. Prime example, I buy pre-made meals from like local grocery store, and they used to be $5 for the small ones, $6 for the big ones that had like your meatloaf, mashed potatoes, and gravy, and like a corn or beans in it. And now they're like $8 for the $6 one and $7 for the $5 one. This has happened in just the last 6 months. So it's becoming more expensive to be out here on the road, which doesn't surprise me. That's just general occurrence out here. But after you start thinking about some of the things and how it's went up, the big one is gas. And I started doing some research, and one of the sources I cite here is AAA, and the current gas price average right now for regular is $3.32 a gallon. Now, some people are saying, "Oh, that ain't bad," but just a year ago, the average at this very time was $2.16 a gallon. And a lot of places it was under $2 a gallon, for the most part. Now you get out in California, like the regular out there is probably gonna be closer to $4. So it all depends. Now regular gas, yes, that costs us as people more every day to travel. But here's the other thing that's gonna stack up. So we're spending more in gas to do what we used to do. But the reason you're starting to see higher prices in the store is because of this. Current diesel prices right now are $3.59 a gallon. A year ago, they were $2.47. So it's costing. Let's see. I usually when I fuel, I usually end up putting on 200 gallons. So roughly, that 200 gallons is costing an extra $200. So instead of saying it cost me $600, it costs me $8 now. It's just, and that stuff's going to get transferred to the consumer. Like there's no way around it. That's the reason the stuff in the store, the price of it's continuing to go up. Like we don't have a choice. It's just that's what's going on. I don't know what's going on with my camera. For some reason, it's not focusing. That's really weird. I'm sorry. I'm trying to figure it out. But I don't know right at the moment. Huh. Strange. Anyways, back to where I was getting to with fuel prices. Like, we don't have a choice when it comes to what the fuel costs. And, the current administration made a big deal here the other day that they were going to open up fuel reserves to help relieve some of the stress, and it dropped the price of gas 2 cents during that time, and it's already on its way back up. So basically, what little they let back out of the fuel reserves into the flow of gas and diesel fuel was irrelevant. Next thing is heating a person's home. A lot of people use propane or natural gas. I didn't look up natural gas. I just looked up propane. Average gas cost of a gallon of propane right now is $2.71. A year ago at this time it was $1.90. So we're almost $1 more a gallon for propane right now. So I mean, your heating bill this winter is going to be even more. Your grocery bill's more. Like, this is the reason we prepare is for stuff like this, because chances are it might possibly just get worse. Hopefully not, but chances are I don't foresee it changing anytime soon. The other thing that to look at is I was reading an article in one of the trucking newspapers here the other day, and the Biden administration is talking about doing a vaccine mandate for all drivers crossing the northern border, which I guess is fine, whatever. But we can't have freight cross the northern border, but we can have illegal immigrants cross the southern border that aren't vaccinated. I'm not going to get too far into that. But they did a study in California that when this mandate hits, there was 30% of the drivers saying they were just going to get out of the job because it's just not worth the headache. There's so many rules and regulations already that we're jumping through. Like the job doesn't pay enough for what the headache is to do it. So keep that in mind. Like, the more they start mandating little things to smaller businesses, the possibility that worse things are going to get, because people aren't going to want to jump through those hoops. And a lot of people are like, oh, it's just you're sitting behind the wheel driving. Well, yes and no. We have to pass physicals every 2 years. We're subject to random drug tests all the time. The rules have become so stringent on what we can do, when we can do it, and how we do it. It's becoming a job that's hard to sell to the community. I've been at this, oh God, I want to say 15 years now, going on 16. And in that time frame, the business has changed drastically. My father actually has done this for, he started driving in 1979, so that's 40, almost 50 years, I think. I'd have to get the calculator on. My brain ain't working that good today. But he's just fed up with the way the industry has went. There's been some studies cited since they went to these e-logs that actually accident rates in trucks have went up, and that's because people are being forced to drive at times when they are tired. So, give you an example. You have 11 hours a day to drive. You have 14 hours a day you can be on duty, or a combination of on duty, not driving, and on duty driving. So, that being said, what happens is, say I run out of my 11 hours at noon today. What these companies are expecting is these guys to get up at 10 o'clock at night and then drive all night. And I don't know about most people, but pretty much sometime after midnight, my body starts to shut down and says, hey, it's time to go to bed. But that being said, and you can see with this footage, like truck traffic out here right now, I will say is extremely low. There's not near the amount of truck traffic out here there was pre-pandemic. So there's still people not doing this job. But like I said, this is the reason we prepare, is because this stuff is all just chain reactioning itself into prices going higher, things becoming less available. So keep that in mind. I know I'm rambling on here for almost 10 minutes now, but just keep that in mind. Like, the more gas prices go up, the more you're going to see the price in the store go up, because it's all reflective of each other. Because the more the gas price goes up, you can expect to pay more in the store because it's going to cost more to get it there. And that being said, it's going to be rough if it continues at the rate we're going. So please be safe. Please subscribe to the channel. Tell your friends about it. Share the channel. I would greatly appreciate it. If you have questions, ask some questions. If there's a topic that you'd like me to try to cover, hit me up with it on the comments. And have a great day.